I'm here in Boston today to announce that I am approving the Cape Wind project. I'm approving the Cape Wind project with modifications to the proposed project that will help protect the historic, cultural, and environmental resources of Nantucket Sound.
Of course, this is giant news for the Cape and Islands, so we got out there to find out what Cape Codders thought. We called the Alliance to Protect Nantucket Sound, the group that opposes the Cape Wind project. Most of their officials were up in Boston for the news conference. However, someone in their office suggested we talk to concerned citizen David Moriarty. Mr. Moriarty, we just heard that Secretary of the Interior Salazar has green-lighted the Cape Wind project. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's unfortunate, but not surprising. I mean, we all anticipated this for a long time. The lawsuits will be coming in. They'll be starting tomorrow. And it's going to be a long, drawn-out process because we feel that, our civil liberties were not respected. And we believe we have a strong, strong case. And it's going to be an awful long time before we see any wind turbines in Nantucket Sound, I guarantee it.
How do you balance out sort of the need for clean power with the idea of placing them, in Nantucket Sound or anywhere else? What are the reasons that you don't think that's an appropriate place?
Well, it's too much of a valuable resource to our region. The Nantucket Sound has been sustaining and providing subsistence for the people of Cape and Islands for thousands of years. It's too valuable a place, it's too beautiful a place, and it's too sacred a place to many of the native indigenous people who happen to be my neighbors.
Next, we stop by the Hyannis office of Clean Power Now, an alternative energy and resource group that supports Cape Wind. Sarah, big day for wind energy on Cape Cod, maybe beyond. What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
Oh, it's just a crazy, historic, whirlwind kind of day. Everyone has so many positive emotions spilling over, and it's just such a historic decision. I can't wrap my head around how truly historic this is.
If this goes through, what could it mean for energy consumers in the region?
Well, energy consumers can look forward to stabilized electricity bills and the pride associated with knowing that our electricity is coming from a clean, renewable resource.
But Sarah, some people are bummed out. I mean, what do you sort of say to the folks out there who are saying, I really didn't want this, and now it may be coming. I'm feeling kind of bad about this. How can you feel good?
Well, I was just watching the press conference that Secretary Salazar held, and he said, this was a tough decision. We listened to all sides. We really weighed national objectives here. And I know that the Cape and Islands has a really special meaning for a lot of people. It has a special meaning for me, too. I've lived here my whole life. And if you think about it on a national scale, how important this is, just try and have some pride in the fact that we're America's first offshore wind farm.
Next, we made a sign that asked people for their Cape Wind thoughts and stood out on Main Street and asked people what they thought. Sarah, a big decision today by the Secretary of the Interior. Looks like a thumbs up to the Cape Wind project. How do you feel about that?
I think Cape Wind project is a very good idea. It's a renewable resource, and our planet just needs more of that kind of stuff.
There were folks who said Nantucket Sound is too lovely and important to mess around with a project like this. Do you have any sympathy for folks who have that opinion?
Yeah, well, our planet needs to be more beautiful too, and if renewable resources are going to do that, then I'm all for it. I mean, we can sacrifice one bit of water for the good of the earth.
My total opinion is that the Cape is spoiled with their views, and we need to step up to the plate and understand that foreign oil is not acceptable anymore.
Now, how about folks who really just love Nantucket Sound as the pristine body of water it is? They had some strong feelings against putting these out there. Do you have any sympathy for them?
I really don't. I really don't. I think that they're well off to do, and they have nothing else to do but complain. Big decision today, Jeremiah. What do you think about it all?
I think it's great. It's fantastic. 75% of our energy from the wind. Really can't beat it.
Do you think a wind farm could be a tourist attraction?
It might actually be really big. People might want to see what it actually looks like to investigate, might draw some people.
Does it excite you that Cape Cod could be the first in the nation to have a substantial wind farm like this?
Not really. I mean, it excites me, but it kind of disappoints me that we've waited this long to come up with alternative, sources.
I can barely afford my home taxes now. Our economy is in shambles. We are a tourist-based economy. We need to protect our resources, our economical resources, and our natural resources.
What about the idea of bringing in like 1,000 construction jobs or something like that?
Let me tell you something about those jobs. Nobody on Cape Cod is going to receive any of those jobs. Those are all union jobs. That's the biggest farce I've ever heard.
So this is a tough day for you then, huh?
It's just the beginning. We haven't even begun to fight here on Cape Cod. I guarantee you this is just the beginning.
There were some folks who said, well, Nantucket Sound is a very, very special place. We don't want to see things built out there. Any sort of sympathy for those folks?
Well, let them pay for my electric bill.